You know the real
Yeah.
problems that I think that Arsenal have? First of all, Eddie Nketiah needs to get onto the phone to Divock Origi and ask him how to be a striker off the bench. That's the first thing. And second off, it's very strange because they don't have very attacking fullbacks. Like I know they
Mm,
have Ben White at right back, and
mm,
then they rotate it with Tommy Yasu, and those two
mm.
aren't really great going forward. So
Yeah,
when you
Tommy
look at
Yasu's a centre back, really, and they're using him as a right back. Sensational. Them Arsenal, man. Oh my days, bro. They're gonna have the worst. You know what? To be fair, I'm gonna terrorize them until we play them again, bruv. So I don't know how many months these men are gonna have to wait to exact their revenge. But oh my days, man. Like, what a feeling, man. It's always good to beat them. It's always good to beat them because online they talk the most shit, bruv.
they do chat a lot of shit. I remember last season when we played them in the semi-final of the League Cup and the Premier League, and they were like, yeah, we're going to beat you, this, that. And this is when they were still, they were doing all right and they were getting a few wins together, but they do have those tendencies where they have a good little spell and it does backfire on them, mate. And it was Mikel Arteta who lost them that game. They might have lost it anyway, but it was really the manager who went gung-ho and lost them the game. So it's an interesting one, to be fair.
Yeah,
But no,
what
lads,
it
you
is
have
with the
every right.
manager, though, the manager is kind of like he just, bro. I think there was nothing for him to do, and I think he just forced it in it. But he's got no bench. I said it before the game. Like I went onto Troops' channel and I said, for all the shit you lot are talking, you need to win the game with the guys you start the game with because you've got nothing on the bench. You've got nothing on the bench to change it. We brought on Fred, CR7, and Casemiro to change the game. Like they brought on Nketiah and this Vieira brother. Like, do you know what I mean?
Nketiah's all right. Nketiah's all right, but to take you to top four
Brother,
and stuff
when
like
have they
that.
ever brought on Nketiah to win a game and actually won it? Like
Last season, he done it a few times, to be fair. I'm
fucking
going to defend.
Nketiah. I don't
I
know,
don't
mate.
remember. In fact, was it off the bench? I don't know if he was starting the games
No, I
where
think
he
he
was
was
scoring.
starting. When he was scoring the
Was
goals,
he?
I think
Yeah.
he was starting because I saw an interview with Nketiah when he was saying, yo, like until I start 3-4 games in a row, people can't really judge me and that. And I was like, fair enough. As a striker, you don't
It's
really
all
like
right
to come
point.
off the bench. You don't like to come off the bench as a striker. But if you're trying to win a game, do you know what I mean? You're bringing on Nketiah, Vieira, and who else did they bring on? I think Smith Rowe got injured in the warm-up or something. They brought on a third player. But either way, it's panic stations, bro. When does a man bring on three, like he made a triple substitution, yeah? I think it was 1-1 he done it. Or actually, I think we just scored before the triple substitution, but they had the three guys ready to come on. So it was strange, bro. Oh, it was Smith Rowe. Do you know what I mean?
You know the real problems that I think that Arsenal have? First of all, Eddie Nketiah needs to get onto the phone to Divock Origi and ask him how to be a striker off the bench. That's the first thing. And second off, it's very strange because they don't have very attacking fullbacks. Like I know they have Ben White at right back, and then they rotate it with Tommy Yasu, and those two aren't really great going forward. So when you look at,
he's a centre back, really, and they're using him as a right back.
he's more defensive. He's all right at right back. He's not a bad right back at all.
He's a defensive player, though. He's a defensive first player. Do you know
Fair,
what I mean?
yeah, that's his first aspect of his game for sure. But the thing that made no sense to me was just how forward they were going. Like they were doing well with the game plan they had at that moment. I get that you've got to make changes. I get that players get tired, but it's a bit ludicrous to just feel so confident that you're going to put about 8 attackers on the pitch. And what I think Arteta was trying to complement and sort of taking a risk on is that he didn't think Man United were going to be so efficient with the new technicians that he got in the team on the counter-attack. And I don't think he expected his team to struggle as much with how compact United was defensively before they would counter-attack. It's like
you know what it was also when Ronaldo came on. When Ronaldo came on, he pushed them man up because he weren't respecting Ronaldo's pace in behind. So I noticed when Ronaldo came on, yeah, he kind of moved everyone forward, thinking let's isolate Ronaldo. But then Rashford just ran into the space.
But there was still Rashford. There was still someone who's there with bags of pace, and that's one thing that Erik ten Hag is utilising fully. He's getting the most out of Rashford. Is Rashford a good footballer? It's entirely up for debate. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm really not. But he's good at being able to get in behind defences and getting a shot on goal. And in his position and the role he's basically, or the brand he's basically grew for himself, is Marcus Rashford at a young age at Man United scoring goals.
Mm.
Eric Ten Hag is finding a system where he's doing that, and he's got the creative players like Sancho, like Antony, who can come around and be able to provide him those chances. Not to mention that Bruno's now getting more of an involvement in the game. So even if he brings you, a detriment defensively, when he gets on the ball, he still seems to create chances. So that seems to be what Eric Ten Hag's doing, and he's making the most out of what he's got, Rants, bro. So I think it's a massive step in the right direction for Manchester United. They're absolutely fucking flying. So fair play.
Nah, it's huge. Like, man saying United defend with 8 men. Bruv, we defend with 11 men, bro. Everyone defends.
But
and that's the difference
it's
with...
not a bad thing.
It's not... but that's how Liverpool are the same. They defend with 11 men as well. That's modern football, bro. Like, that's the whole point of the press.
I get the point what he's trying to make. He's trying to make the point that you sit that many players back. But to emphasise on that point...
It's not a bad thing, though.
It's not a bad thing because you make the most of your possession. So even if you don't get numerous chances, you've now got the technicians to be able to make the most out of the build-up play, to make the most out of the counter-attack, and then make the most out of the finish, because you have got people who can score goals in the team. I think that's what you're lacking right now. I do still think you need a top-class striker. Otherwise, for what you've got here and what Eric Ten Hag has got to deal with, it is very, very sound. And I think it's a really, really good start to what is a long process. Like, look at the structure, and the word that I like to use is culture. I think he's building a new culture at the football club. Young players, kind of like Ajax, to where these players are not only good assets now because it brings more cohesion and these players are more willing to listen, but also the long term. The long term of where, say if I think he'll do well, but say if Sancho doesn't live up to what he should have, and then you bring in someone else to replace him, the next big thing in left wing or right wing, and you let him go, you're still going to get enough money because he's only going to be like 25, 26 until you come up with that decision on whether he's good enough or not. So all the players you're bringing in, even Antony, he was a lot of dough, but if you ever have to get to a point where you sold him, he's still going to go for a lot of money. Where
we'll get our money back at very least.
Very, very good assets. So that's why I think Man United and Eric Ten Hag specifically has said to the owners, listen, or not even the owners, the board of directors, listen, we need to build a structure at this club. This is something that you've failed at massively. Let me have an impact. Let me get some of my players. And I think they came up with a compromise. The board have said, well, we still need to bring in some big names because we're Man United. So I think that's more Casemiro's. And then I think the other players is most certainly Eric Ten Hag's, and he's just making the most out of it.
No, 100%. Do you know what I mean? So now I'm buzzing with how the manager's got us playing. This is how we're supposed to play. You attack with 11, you defend with 11. There were times where Varane was like picking up the ball pretty much in the final third and recycling possession. Like, our centre-backs are right up the pitch. And that's how you're meant to attack as a team and defend as a team. And I thought we did that well. And as much as Arsenal fans like to try and kid themselves, that they dominated the game. Like, no, they dominated the ball, but dominating the ball is not dominating the game. Because when you look at chances created, Man United created more chances than Arsenal, had more shots on target than Arsenal, scored more goals. So dominating the ball is not dominating the football match, bruv. Like, David De Gea was not scrambling around, like making save after save after save, bruv. Arsenal had loads of the ball, but they did nothing with it. And you don't get fucking, like I said, you don't get style points, bro. This ain't FIFA Street. Like, you don't get style points. It's either you take the chance, you create chances and score goals, or you don't. Do you know what I mean? It's that simple, because every time we attacked, we look more likely to score than Arsenal. So as much as they say, oh yeah, we had loads of the ball, so what? Take it home. We won the game. Take the ball home. Gives a fuck. So I'm not really bothered. I'm not really bothered at all. So, like, they had a lot of meaningless possession. That's all it was. 3 shots on target in the whole 90 minutes, and they think that they deserve to win the game because they had more of the ball. Nah, bro, that's crazy.
Even when Gabriel Jesus was getting like half a chance, Rafael Varane was right up against them, so he didn't really get that proper clear shot on goal, and that in itself is good defending, putting players off. That's another form of really, really good defending. So I'm a big fan of Martinez. I think he's so intelligent with his positioning and sort of the reading that he's gone on the game. You can understand why Eric Ten Hag's brought him in. He's a very intelligent footballer, which just seems to be the difference of what you're bringing in now in comparison to last season. I think a lot of players needed educating over time, and on top of that, they needed to gel into the team that they're in. But they came into the most uncohesive squad that Man United have had in years. So I think now you're seeing that already with the players that he's brought in, the culture that he's building at the football club. It's a good place to be, mate.
Bro,
And it's
every
only the
single
first
player that he's brought in so far, yeah, you
dumb
can say
sounds.
solid signing. Like, there's not one player that's come in, looks
Only
shaky, and
Casemiro you haven't saw, really. That's it.
you
Like,
haven't
you
really
don't know
seen
about
him.
him.
You haven't really seen him, but the little cameos that he has had, you can see the quality straight away, the 1-2 touch football and all of these other things. So for me, like, so far, it looks like the manager has brought in players that can play the system that he wants to play, and he's brought in real quality in it instead of bringing in a load of duds, bro. Like, we weren't bringing in the likes of the Dan Jameses and stuff like that anymore. We don't really have any project players. Obviously, we've got players that are going to develop, but they're still at a level now where they can improve the team immediately, which is what we needed. So Martinez has been an amazing signing, and it's funny that a lot of people, like, they were making fun and all the jokes and all the short jokes and stuff like that, but bro, like, his performances are speaking for themselves. They're speaking for themselves, and he's one of the most dominant centre backs in the league at the moment. Like, it's not even debatable. Like, the numbers speak for themselves. So you can judge someone's dominance by the duels that they're winning, etc., bro. And we've got what? We've conceded 2 goals in the last 4 games now, and 2 of them games were against Arsenal and Liverpool. So people can't say that we're not defending more. Our team was one of the teams. I think we conceded more goals than we played games last season. I think we conceded 40 plus goals last season. And this team, yeah, I'm so confident defensively in them now, even after 4 games. And that shows just how far that we have come. Since Saliba was generational about a week ago. It's true, he was.
Nah, he's a
He
good
was.
centre back, though, mate.
He is a good centre back, but he's not generational, bro. Them Arsenal fans thought that he could fucking lock off the whole back line by himself, bro. But I told him when he's playing next to that,
he'll be moving Varane right out of that French team before you know it. So relax, relax.
Nah, not Varane, bro.
He'll be doing that soon, don't you worry. Nah,
Varane's got skin in the game. Varane's playing for France.
Watch, he'll be a player. That's Saliba, trust me.
He already is a player, but bro, you ain't moving Varane anyway. You picked the wrong centre back, bro. Do you know how many shit centre backs you have, and you think he's gonna move Varane, bro? And there's guys like
serious. He'll end up taking Varane's place in that French squad, no doubt.
It won't be Varane's. It'll be someone else's.
Say no more.
It'll be someone else's. But bro, how did you fucking, bruv, how did you sleep, bruv, after you, man, shit it against your rivals, bruv? Like, what the hell is going on at Liverpool, bro? Like, is it a blip, or are you actually worried for the whole season?
I've been worried about it since it started. We never invested to the level that we should have, and on top of that, we've been outrunning every game that we played this season. Just literally.
But that's not normal for you lot, though.
Fuck knows what it is. What I think it is a combination of quite a few things. I think we're trying to change system a little bit. Salah's hugging the right wing, which is just not what he does well. It makes no sense. Like, why fix something that weren't broken? Like, I know we had a poor end to last season, but that was when we made the tactical change. And even Pep Linders came out and was talking about, like, but we want to make the most out of him on the wing because it allows us to bring out more of his creative side. And Salah can create chances. Whether you like the way he does it is entirely up to you, but he can create chances. He's proven it even last year. You know, that's why he got the most assists and whatnot. But it's like he gets goals as well. Why are you taking away the main asset, which is something that we're struggling to have, especially when we've just had Nunes out, Jota out. It's just a weird time to be making so many changes to a system. And don't get me wrong, like, I appreciate that over time you've got to make it different, especially when you've got the same players. But don't fix certain things that aren't broken. And I think putting Salah too far wide out is one of the main big mistakes. I thought defensively we were a lot better. Don't think it was that hard because Everton's attacking quality is very poor. Mopey, fucking Anthony Gordon, you know, these are players who they're sound, but honestly, they're no better than probably the best team in the Championship. They're just in the Premier League because they just about stayed up.
They're not supposed to be causing you any problems, but they did, though.
Exactly. So, like, if we you've got to think about how close they was to getting relegated last season, and they've actually lost players since then. Yet they brought in the odd one, but the ones that they brought in, they were on the bench. So, and Everton had injuries. They had Zakore out and stuff like that. They have no Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. So that just goes to show it's a team that was there to be got at, and we just didn't. I mean, Pickford made a few good saves. But again, I think Everton defended well, kind of like what you did with Arsenal, to where we weren't getting mega clear-cut chances. And that's the only thing with me in Liverpool at the moment, is that I'll support them till the cows come home, mate. But if I'm sitting there talking to them, I'm saying, what the fuck? You aren't even running. You aren't moving off the ball. You aren't there trying to create space for each other. There's no cohesion within the squad. And I don't think it's anything to do back at the, people like to jump to the conclusions like, oh, what's going on in the staff room and what's going on with the players and the manager. I think everything's dead sound. It's just, we are shot of confidence right now. And I think we're not used to that. We're used to being like the underdogs and doing well and stuff like that. But right now, it's just not happening for us, mate. So we need to get our finger out our asses. Otherwise, we'll be lucky to even be in a Europa League race, let alone a top 4 race. So
but when you say that Everton stops you from creating loads of chances, but bro, when you look at your midfield, you don't have a single creative player in there. And Klopp's been playing that way for a while, to be completely honest. But
that's why he's trying to get Harvey Elliott in the team, though, and trying to implement him to the squad as well. Because he does bring that more creative outlook. And that's why he's done really well this season. But the problem is, he's done well, but no one has risen to their expectations. So Harvey Elliott's probably one of the only players that you're thinking, you're going out on the pitch and you're putting everything out there. Whereas you're seeing Fabinho and you're seeing, I don't know, like Henderson when he was playing before he got injured, not living up to the performances that he should, getting very comfortable in their positions without the backup, not having to worry about that regular game time. The front three has been all over the place since the start of the season. I even done an interview with Rio Ferdinand, which is out on my channel now, actually, if people want to go and watch that after this. But he was even saying, like, he thinks the number one issue is injuries, and it's a good point. But then I questioned him and I said, shouldn't have we prepare for that? Shouldn't have we went out and actually thought, well, 2 seasons ago, we had a group of injury-prone players who are still here now, and we thought that the problem was just going to be different. That is very naive. And I know we went out and got Arthur, and we got Harvey Elliott and stuff. So now that we got a midfielder, regardless whether you like him or you don't, it's someone there, and they made the most out of the money that they were probably given, which is why I always go back to FSG.